The Pokemon anime's Masters 8 tournament is fast approaching. A tournament capping off the World Coronation Series season in which 8 of the strongest trainers in the world will be duking it out to claim the title of the strongest trainer in the world, the monarch of the World Coronation Series. But who exactly are the Masters 8? Hey everyone, it's Charles. How are you today? Things are heating up in Pokemon Journey's World Coronation Series, a massive tournament in which trainers from around the world are competing with their sights set on becoming the very best like no one ever was, by ascending the ranks of the normal class, the great class, and the ultra class, with the hopes of securing a spot in the Master Class, wherein the 8 highest ranked trainers in the world will square off in a season-end Masters 8 tournament to decide the new World Coronation Series monarch, aka the world's #1 trainer. Our unaging hero, part-time monkey, and champion of Alola, Ash Ketchum, has of course been battling his way through the World Coronation Series and is getting so close to inevitably securing his spot in the Masters 8, but who exactly will he be facing off against in the tournament? Gary Oak, Paul Powers, Serena's dad? Today we will quickly run through the 5 all but confirmed participants and then shed some light on who the remaining 3 mystery powerhouse contenders may very well be. And with that said, kindly give that like button a little spank for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump right in. As the reigning monarch, Galar Golden Boy Leon is the man to beat. He has a beast of a Charizard equipped with the right moves for the right situations, a Dragapult, and 4 mystery members who could be modeled after his teams in the Sword and Shield games, or simply a strike force of Wooloos for all we know. And let us just take a moment to appreciate that untouchable cape game. Next, we have Raihan, the strongest Galarian gym leader and a dashing man of chivalry who is apparently strong enough to easily become a champion in another region, but is dead set on sticking around Galar until he takes down the Purple Cape Man, bringing the full force of his giant soap dispenser, other dragons, and environmental manipulation down to bear on the Masters 8. Raihan is sure to make a splash. The champion of Johto, Dragon Master Lance, is also in the running. Having lost to Leon in the finals of the previous Masters 8 tournament, it seems that he will be stepping up to bat once again with his red Gyarados, his red hair, and perhaps even as many hacked Dragonites as he has in the games. The most recently revealed Masters 8 contender is none other than Cynthia, the champion of Sinnoh, and a fan favorite thanks to her incredible team, powerful presence, and yeah, the boyish fantasies of the Pokemon fanbase. The last quote-unquote known competitor at present is none other than Village Wildman Ash Ketchum. While his position isn't officially confirmed at this point, it is pretty obvious that he is going to make the cut, and it will be a blast to see how deep the newly minted Alolan champ can go. Well, that is 5 trainers accounted for, but who are the 3 remaining unknowns? When it comes to the 3 mystery contenders, there are simply so many fantastic options to choose from, but to be honest, in my books, there are only a few who really make much sense. So let's trim down the nearly infinite list of possibilities by making a few assumptions. Firstly, I view the Masters 8 as an arena of unprecedented challenges for Ash to confront, so I just don't think it is the best place to reopen conflicts with opponents who he has already beaten. This eliminates popular high-class trainers like Pyramid King Brandon, Palmer, Paul Powers, Chad Dad Kukui, trainers like Karina, Iris, and Volkner who he has beaten in the past and again in Pokemon Journeys, and many other gems who would admittedly be pretty incredible opponents, but with whom Ash has already finished his business. Secondly, Foot Girl B is clearly a fan favorite and one of Ash's main rivals in Pokemon Journeys, having beaten and tied him in their bouts so far, so I know that some fans are gunning for her to make the cut. However, it has been made clear that the next place they will be meeting is in the Hyper class, and presumably Ash will defeat B, and she will serve as his final stepping stone into the Master class. Thirdly, it looks like the writers are looking to include a fairly even spread of trainers from across the known regions of the Pokemon universe. Of the Masters 8 contenders we know to date, we have Leon, the champion of Galar, Raihan, who could easily be a champion elsewhere but simply enjoys getting donked by Leon every year, Lance, the champion of Johto, Cynthia, the champion of Sinnoh, and Ash Ketchum, the champion of Alola. The beefy Galar presence is to be expected given Pokemon Journey's connection to Sword and Shield, and Leon and Raihan's rivalry in the Sword and Shield games, but based on what we have seen thus far, I don't think we will see the writers double down on representatives from any of the other regions when selecting the Masters 8 members. Yes, I know we all want to see Tobias again, but I don't think it's going to happen in the Master class. Based on this assumption, we are left with the possibility of a representative coming in from 3 of the following regions: Kanto, since we are counting Lance as Johto's rep, the Orange Islands, Hoenn, Unova, and Kalos. However, Ash already beat the reigning champion of Unova back in the Great class, so I think we can cross that region off the list. Similarly, I think it is safe to say that we can also eliminate the Orange Islands, since Ash conquered that Pee-wee League over 20 years ago, and the writers seem pretty keen to have us forget about the region anyways, perhaps because they want us to forget certain things that shall not be forgotten. These assumptions further whittle our shortlist down to Kanto, Hoenn, and Kalos. 3 representatives, 3 regions. So let's discuss which representative from each of these regions I think and hope will make the cut. Kanto has no shortage of ace trainers who Ash has never beaten, Elite Four juggernauts like Prima and Bruno, the evil boss man himself, Giovanni, and if we were to look outside the anime and pull from the game and manga source material, then we would even have access to Champion Red. However, this is the anime, and I don't think there ever is a chance that we will see Red at this point. Or is there? While not exactly Red himself, the man, the Chad, the Pokemon protagonist who actually ages, there is another character who is a mirror image of Ash and who could even be viewed as another of Red's doppelgangers. Of course, I am talking about Richie, who I think would be the perfect representative for Kanto. Back when we first encountered Richie, he and Ash ran virtually identical teams. It was a fun gimmick, and as we know, Ash took the L to Richie in the top 16 of the Indigo Conference, when Charizard refused to obey his commands. Richie was the OG friendly rival, and it would be incredible to see not only how far he has come since way back then, but also what kind of squad he has assembled. And who knows, in all these years, perhaps he has actually returned to the Indigo Conference and won it all, to put himself on equal footing with Ash as a Pokemon League champion, and would come into the Masters 8 as the representative champion of Kanto. I anticipate that he and Ash would once again bring very similar teams to the pitch, which would make for a thrilling match, and it would be so perfect if Ash brought Charizard back in to come full circle and complete his redemption arc. Richie is my pick for Kanto, but how's it going over in Hoenn? Hoenn has plenty of its own greats. Harrison, the big man, who showed up to the Johto Silver League to dunk on Ash with Blaziken before losing to John Dixon. Tyson, the Puss in Boots fanboy who steamrolled Ash and went on to win the Evergrande Conference. Drake, the Elite Four juggernaut, who nutted Ash so hard he could not walk for days, putting him back in his seat when his ego got out of control back in Advanced Generation. But let's be honest, Harrison is powerful and cool, and Tyson is powerful and not very cool, but neither of these characters hold very much sway with fans. In fact, most people probably don't even remember them, and I'm skeptical that they would bring back Drake to stack up the dragon presence in the Masters 8 even higher than it already is. So when it comes to the cream of the crop in Hoenn, there are only 2 trainers who fit the bill in my opinion. On one hand, we have Wallace, a champion, a fashionista, and a man with good taste in water types. Wallace is as powerful as he is flamboyant and could put up a thrilling fight against anyone in the Masters 8, and yet I still don't think he is the right man for the job, given that the anime was always more focused on his role as a top coordinator than as a battler. Instead, I am eyeing another Hoenn juggernaut who got tied up in Ash's adventures across both Advanced Generation and XY. The man of Hoenn who set Sawyer up with the inspiration and the stone that would propel him onto a collision course with Ash in the Kalos League semifinals. The cavalry who showed up when shit hit the fan on account of the Orange Clown Man. The blue-haired bad boy, the reigning champion of Hoenn, none other than wealthy, powerful, and dashing Steven Stone. Steven Stone is a bit of an enigma in that we haven't seen that much of him battling in the anime, but a champion is a champion, and he is simply such a smooth bro. Although, they should probably call Steven Stone Steven Steel, considering his affinity for steel types, which would be a great focus type to balance out the dragon-heavy teams of the known contenders. And I'm curious how Ashe would deal with threats like Metagross and Aggron. Just cut Gengar for Infernape. So, on my watch, we have Richie, the rival who crushed Ashe's very first league run, representing Kanto. Steven Stone, the cool as cold steel champion whose metal Ashe has yet to test, representing Hoenn. Kanto, Hoenn, who could be the representative of Kalos and the final member of the Masters 8. Kalos had its fair share of stiff competitors, and a natural pick would be Diantha. Ashe faced her twice, she pretty much dragged him through the mud in their first matchup, and in the second, well, actually he fared reasonably well against her Mega Gardevoir until he succumbed to the strain of the Ashe Greninja Bond transformation, which he had not yet mastered, and ate some dirt. Diantha is awesome, a pick that the writers might actually slip in to amp up the whammon factor, and there is no doubt that she is a badass. However, speaking from a narrative standpoint, it simply would not be as incredible as it would be if Ashe went up against the man who robbed us of our vicarious victory in the Kalos League finals. Yes, I am talking about Alan, the badass in black and blue with a slick, and very fluffy scarf. The man who took down Malva of the Elite Four and the winner of the Kalos League. Alan is one of the strongest trainers, if not the strongest trainer, that Ashe has ever battled, never taking an L in even one of their 3 matches. From his Deus Ex Machina Mega Charizard X, to his pseudo-legendary sweepers, to the other guys, Alan brought an all-star team to the Lumiose Conference final that proved too hot for Ashe to handle, and at the end of the day, Alan was simply the superior trainer. And yet, with Ashe operating at peak cool factor and presumably tracking towards some third time as the charm magic, fans were as devastated by the loss as Potter Cheeks himself. That said, when X and Y wrapped up, Alan and Ashe promised that they would battle again one day, and to see that promise fulfilled, and for Ashe to finally emerge victorious over Alan in the biggest tournament the anime has ever seen would be something truly special. They'll probably just choose Diantha though. Leon, Raihan, Lance, Cynthia, Ashe Ketchum, Richie, Steven Stone, and Alan. There you have it, a bit of a sausage fest, but I do think that this roster would make for an absolutely stunning Masters 8 tournament. But how about you? What are your predictions or hopes for the 3 unknown Masters 8 competitors? Do you want to see Richie, Steven Stone, and Alan? Or perhaps you would rather see Tobias, Diantha, and Victor? Or someone else altogether? I'm curious what you think, and as always, let's chat.